everyone, and welcome back to 5-Minute Major. I am Natalie Nori, and I'm joined in the penalty box with Hockey East Commissioner Steve Metcalf for episode 3 of the series. Today we're speaking logistics and a little update this week. Hockey East has officially set aside the men's and women's composite schedule for the remainder of the season and are now scheduling games weekly. So Steve, what are the details of that process moving forward?
Hi, Natalie. Good to see you again. Yes, I think it's basically, I guess, unofficially what we've been doing. And I guess everyone that kind of follows closely, outside of our teams in the media and SIDs, et cetera, they all knew that this was what we were doing. So now we're just kind of saying it out loud, just trying to be nimble, be flexible, and get everyone as many games as possible. And the schedule that we had on our website and many others had, we just knew was not going to be the way we'd end up being. So, I guess we just, like I said, we just said out loud what we've actually been doing the last couple of weeks. And I guess, we all feel like it's working the best for us.
Absolutely. As we said earlier, things are ever changing in this league right now. Now, when you are scheduling, you have Associate Commissioners Brian Smith and Kate McAfee assisting you. What are their roles in that process, and how do the three of you work together?
Well, so yes, thanks for asking about them. They've both been absolutely critical to myself, and I guess to all of us, just making this thing run. Outside of their regular responsibilities, I guess the two big, things that we've tackled all year are, COVID-related testing and communication communication between each schools about who's available, and just a, myriad of paperwork that we would never really be passing back and forth. And Kate has kind of spearheaded that on behalf of the league. And then on the scheduling side, Brian's been my right-hand person with all things schedule, and he's just got a really good head for it. And we've kind of tag teamed the schedule together, and then make sure that Kate is also included. She's going to keep in touch with our official supervisors and make sure we have officials on the games, and make sure that all the information that needs to get traded between the two institutions is done before we get to the games that weekend.
Now, you mentioned the officials, and that's something that I want to talk about next. But first, are you guys able to work in person at the office, or how has your work schedule been?
Well, certainly for several months, none of us went to the office. And then we kind of eased back in where, we've typically been going to the office 2 days a week, I would say on average, Monday and Thursday usually. And so the three of us are there on Monday, and that's really a day when we're trying to put all the finishing touches on that week's schedule. Tuesday is, really finalizing everything, getting it released. Wednesday, just normal, work from home stuff. Thursday, we're back in the office together. Friday is, game day for a lot of schools. And so myself certainly, but sometimes also Brian and Kate, we're trying to get out to some games. And then Saturdays, obviously a lot of that. Sunday, we start thinking about the schedule, more intently on, what matchups we're going to have the following week, and then it starts all over again on Monday.
Full rotation.
Yeah.
Now, we have about a minute left of the penalty, but if you could just make a comment on the officials. I understand that, games are every week, but the officials also have a schedule every week. So, how do you organize that aspect of where the refs go?
So we have two great supervisors. Dave Lazinski has been with us a number of years. He oversees the women's side, and Brian Murphy is new to us this year, oversees the men's side. Brian's also taken on the task of spearheading the officials testing program that we run. So we test our officials every week and make sure that, we're doing our very best to make sure we're putting officials on the game, obviously without COVID, but also, juggling a constantly changing schedule and making sure that we have our best people working, but also, keeping track of all the changes. And we've certainly made, their two lives more difficult than it usually is. But they have both rolled with it, and they've been absolutely outstanding. As I joked to someone the other day, my biggest fear is showing up at a game and the two teams are there, but there's no officials. And thankfully, knock on wood, we haven't had that happen once yet so far, and let's hope that streak continues.
Absolutely. That about does it for today's penalty. Thank you so much for your time and your insight this week. I'm sure you have another busy weekend ahead of you. So enjoy it, and we'll see you again soon.
Okay. Thanks, Natalie.
Thanks, Steve.